What's going on, YouTube? DFS Quarry back again with another main slate breakdown for Thursday, October 11th, 2018. I didn't count the games. How many's on here? 10? 11? 10? 10, right?
12
Jared?
games.
12 games. Okay, we got 12 game main slate here. With me tonight, JS Miner 87. Jared, follow him on Twitter. My name is Joe. You can follow me at JoeMiner3131, and you can also follow the channel here at DFS Quarry, all one word. Jared, how you doing tonight? A little better slate for us?
We 3 games only, but we're hitting some real good lines here tonight in the DraftKings lineups with 1 game left to go. A lot of my players are already on ice now, but I got a couple stragglers left in the late game.
I as well. I'm not complaining. So far, so good. I'm not way up there, but I'm at least covering what I got out there anyway. I do have one lineup on FanDuel in the main slate, and I do have a lineup on DraftKings and on FanDuel for the small slate, just a 2-gamer. We'll see how that goes. As far as this slate we're looking at here, we're about to break down for tomorrow. What I'm seeing, a lot of plays there, a lot of different ways you could go. We've got a couple game stacks we can take a look at, a few different goalies we can take a look at, and I think we got some games we can pretty much just cross off and stay away from too. With that being said, Jared, you want to jump into it?
Let's dive right in. Game 1, at least on. I always take my lineup straight from a Vegas sporting odds. So I got Oilers and Bruins as my first game that I'm looking at. Boston to minus 165 here. They certainly came out, if you recall, against Ottawa the other night. That top line was in top form with Pasternak, Bergeron, Marchand. All had great. If you had them in your lineups the other night, you had a real great line here. Edmonton still hasn't had a lot. I think they've only played 1 game, and that was the other night against the New Jersey Devils. I like this game to start off with the stack here. Both teams combined a 5.3 combined goals for. The goals against, they're actually combined giving up 8.3. So I think you're going to get scoring here. Is it the best game stack on the night? I wouldn't necessarily game stack this one, but I would choose one. The fear here, the guys you got to get are the high dollar guys. Just because you got, like I said, salaries don't come cheap if you are going to be interested in that Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak line to get on that bandwagon. You could. There are a couple lower plays that I think could be involved in the action. Those being, I like Jake DeBrusk. He hasn't got on goals, I don't think, this year, but he does have 9 shots. Krejci, 1 goal, 1 assist, comes at a $5,000 price tag. So they're there. Power play unit wise, that's where they came from the other night, if you recall. Looking at the Edmonton side of things, this Edmonton line was deadly in the preseason. I know we looked at them, and that's where we're having real good success with that Nugent Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Ty Ratty line. That's where I would probably like to play. Even though Rask had a fairly decent game the other night, I still think this team has the offensive power on that first line to get involved. You don't want to ignore the other day, Yamamoto had a great game as well on his birthday, I believe it was. That second line of Milan Lucic, Leon Draisaitl, Tyler Yamamoto, also going to be a good line in play, and they could come as a nice salary savings. Maybe look for that save power play action just to make sure you're going to get there. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be the best game in play, but there are some plays in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Looking at Edmonton, man, I don't want no part of Talbot. I agree with you. I believe this game is probably going to go over the 6 goals. Um, as far as Edmonton goes, um, I like McDavid really, and Ty Ratty and Leon Draisaitl. Um, and as far as defense goes, I like Darnell Nurse. Um, I mean, I'd probably finish out a stack of them somehow, whether it be a power play or if I have to take Nugent Hopkins, I don't have a problem with that. Or Milan Lucic, I don't mind him either. Um, but as far as it goes, I do like McDavid. I do like Ratty, Draisaitl, and I like Nurse on the defensive side. And I'm probably with you here. I'm more on the Boston side of this. I don't want to sound like I'm, chasing points here, but their last showing they had against Ottawa at home, they really were impressive. They were scoring every which way. Patrice Bergeron was incredible. So that whole top line, uh, Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak is great. You could drop down to the second line if you need to save some points or save some dollars here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have a problem with DeBrus, Krejci, or Donato. And I do like David Bax off the third line. I think he gets some power play time too. Um, as far as defense goes, Chara and McAvoy, I really like McAvoy. Would be my pick if I had the salary for it off of this defensive side of Boston. Um, but, you could look at their power play lines and play any of them that's going to run on the power play, either power play line, really. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And I don't want any part of Rask at all. He's all over the place. You can't trust him. And that's pretty much it from this game. I do have some interest, but I don't think this is going to be my pick of the games. Anything else on this one, Jared?
No, let's move on to the next one.
All right, man, we can do that. Next game we're looking at here is Colorado Avalanche heading in to face the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. Pretty much an even game here. It's a -110 on the side of Buffalo. Over and under on this is 6. We got Varlamov projected to face Hutton. What do you like here?
Offensively, I don't think I'm pulling any forwards from this one. I think you're going to have a lot of other great game. My interest actually comes defensively in this game. If you look personally, I like the way Colorado's defense is structured. If you look at least from DraftKings, Eric Johnson has 4.83 average points a game for a defenseman. Rasmus Ristolainen from Buffalo with a 3.33. And then you go down to Patrick Nemeth at 4,300 cost. He's averaging 4.5 points per game. And that's 3 games for Colorado and Buffalo. So that's fairly consistent at this point. Still early, so they could lay that goose egg. But 4.5 as a defensive area at a cost that maybe a little bit higher than you want, but I think you're going to get a reliable defensive play here. I think this is going to be a relatively low-scoring game, under 6. Personal opinion, looking at it, yeah, they give up some shots, with both teams giving up around 31 and 33 shots a game. So the shots are going to be there. But along the lines of quality shots, I just don't think they're there. Buffalo had, I think the other day, it was a couple power play goals that really cemented them in there. And both teams' power play is in play, looking at their stats-wise. Colorado, 27.3 power play this year, 37.5 for Buffalo. So they are converting the power plays. Will they get the chances that you need them to get tomorrow? I just don't see it in this slate. And I think this is a game to really be cautious for. Maybe a defensive pair. And I wouldn't be opposed to throwing a goalie in here. Like I said, if you have that strong feeling that, let's call it Varlamov, tomorrow, maybe he's in play. Buffalo side, who is Buffalo starting? I'm not sure who they're starting. Actually, I can't remember.
Hutton is what I have.
Yeah, he's been solid this year. And if you are going to pair whatever team's defense you want to pair in that choice, if you want to get Ristolainen, it's going to cost you a little bit more. But if you're going to get him, you got to recommend that you play Carter Hutton. I think you're going to get points there. If you play for the win, combine that with the shots, you're going to have a solid night.
I can't say I disagree with you. I don't know how much interest I have in this game at all. Really. But you can play it. If you want to take the Colorado side, you could look at the top 6. And I agree with you on the defensive side. I guess I like Tyson Barrie, and I do like to drop down to even that third pairing of Zadorov once in a while. But again, I'm probably not going to play Colorado at all. The Buffalo side, you and I disagree on this, I think, a little bit here, man. Jared, we've discussed this before. I like what they're doing with that top line. I really do. I like the Sherry, Eichel, Reinhart line here, man. They got potential. Although I do respect Varlamov, I think that Buffalo has a pretty decent top 6 here, man. I mean, Jeff Skinner, Sherry, Eichel, Reinhart, Berglund, Okposo. I don't mind them. Hell, the last game out, I think even Pominville had a goal, right? Defensive side, Scandella, Ristolainen, I don't mind them at all either. I like Rasmus Dahlin. So I think if I'm in a big GPP and I'm looking for a low-owned team that I want to target, I think Buffalo's my team I'm going to target. I like I said, I have all the respect for Colorado. I think they're a really good team, but I think Buffalo's a pretty decent team here, and I think before this is all said and done, people are going to be playing a lot of Buffalo in the games here. Anything else in this one, buddy?
No, sir. Let's move on to the next one.
Alrighty, moving on. This is an interesting game here. We got Washington. They're going to be on a back-to-back, heading into New Jersey, take on the Devils. We don't have a line here. I guess we're going to project co-play to be in the net on the back-to-back for Washington. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Everybody needs to keep an eye on that. They may sit Holtby here. If not, take a second look at Holtby then. For tonight's, what we're going to do here, breakdown, I guess we're going to go with co-play. And then Kincaid in the net for New Jersey. What do you got?
This here for me is a game stack potential here. And actually, I think this is one of the top game stacks on the slate. Both teams, I know Washington's playing pretty, they're not offensive explosion like we've seen them in the first couple of games. But I like them both. If you look at goals for, like I said, this is a 2. I got stats on 2 games because obviously Washington's still playing right now, and then the Devils only played 1. But you're looking at 11.5 goals for scored per game. They aren't giving up a lot, but here's where you look at. You're going to look at these power plays. Both are converting in a 50% on the power play, while their penalty kill is a 75%. I can't stress enough. It's a small sample size. I get that, but at least using some stats is better than using none at all. Here, Price is going to be your poison. So I would try to get maybe something off the. Well, I have no problem stacking your Washington if you want to pick that top line, but you're definitely going to have to stack it with a second power play unit of the other team if you want to game stack this. Either power play is probably in line. I actually, since it's going to be Copley, I kind of would rather stack this first power play unit with Taylor Hall, Nico Hischier, and I'd rather go Travis Zajac as your third option there. I think they're last year you saw it. They're very good offensively. They can score goals. Am I interested in the defensive side of things? Probably not in this game. It's just a high cost with your defensemen that matter. For at least for Washington's sake, you do get great production from John Carlson, but he's one of the highest quality costs here. Defensively, if you are going to play someone, I like Sammy Vatanen from New Jersey and a 3,700 price tag. He's really a good option. He's getting about 14 minutes, at least according to the stat I see. So he's a good play here if you want a chance at defensively, but I'm probably going to aim somewhere else for my defensive pairing. But I could see myself offensively stacking this game.
I don't know, man. Washington could go off here, but I mean, I'm not opposed to. I really don't like the game stack here. I think it's going to go one way or the other. I think Washington's either going to blow them out, or I believe New Jersey's going to blow them out. I don't look for a close one. But I don't know. How can you not like Washington? They're definitely in play. Both, the top six is in play anyway. In defensively, I like your John Carlson play. Niskanen, I don't have a problem with him. Orlov, don't have a problem with him either. I think, and I really think I'm going to play the New Jersey side of this, though, for some reason. And call me stupid. I don't know. But I really think that that's where I'm going to go, is the Jersey side. I like Kincaid. Probably not going to play him. I do like him, though. I like the top line from New Jersey. I like definitely Taylor Hall. I don't have a problem with Johansson off the second line. Vantanen, I agree with you there. I'd even take a shot on Andy Green. I really like Taylor Hall, though. He's an impressive skater, skates super fast. So I think that's where I would go. Maybe possibly, do two separate lineups, stack Washington in one, stack New Jersey in one, just to try to cover it. But I also would like to say I don't necessarily think you need to play this game. So I think you can fade this game and get away with it. I mean, if you want to play it, that's where I'd look. But I don't, man, I might not even play this game, to be honest with you. You got anything else?
Let's move on to the next one.
Fair enough. Next game, we got San Jose heading into New York to take on the Rangers. I believe that they're already on the East Coast, so you're not going to have to worry about travel or anything like that. San Jose is a minus 175. We got an over-under of 6 here. Looks like we're going to have Jones taking on Lundqvist. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I would think.
No. I get an interest in Jones here. What do you like here?
Well, all right, just a little hockey update for the fans out there. Philly has posted their 6-goal leading 6-3 in the third period. Looked like a goal from Claude Giroux. So if you have them in your lineup, you'll be pleased there. And on our chat log there, Yenzer on Hockey says only Niskanen and Carlson are in play. He likes Washington defensively from the last game. I guess he doesn't see the goals and high numbers from Brooks Orpik after that goal he had the other night there against the Penguins.
I'm not an Orpik fan.
But moving on here, this game here personally, and I like to color code my slate lineups on what I think so. Medium play, risky play, and I got both teams here actually not highlighted at all because this maybe it's a shark bite game because I don't know. Do you get San Jose putting up 8 goals? You probably wouldn't think that going against. This isn't Brian Elliott here. This is Lundqvist. He's got the NHL experience for sure. I don't think he's given up 8 goals. Sharks wise, if you're gonna play them, because it's worth a play due to their offensive power. That Pavelski, Kevin LeBlanc. I really like Kevin LeBlanc due to his price savings. He's got some pretty great production early on to start the year. I had only a $4,900 price tag, so that's going in your favor. You got even that second line with Thomas Hertl getting a lot of shots early in the year, a lot of ice time, even off that second line at 18.68 minutes a game. And he is a $5,900 price tag and also sees time on that first power play line with Logan Couture, Pavelski, Brent Burns, and Erik Karlsson. So saying that, you get it's high cost, but the beauty of the high cost, it's high reward if they do go off of that 8-goal game, because I'm pretty sure everyone that got a piece of San Jose the other night probably was in the money here. You look at the New York side, pardon me, they've admitted they're in a rebuild phase. They did have a few games or a few nights off, but the goals just aren't there. What is their average here? 8 goals, 4 in 3 games. So you're not getting offensive production. I'm not even going to lie to you. Don't play anyone from the Rangers unless you would look maybe defensively and hope that Lundqvist has the game that you've known him to have before, because he's going to get 35 shots against him at least. If you get him in a GPP and he does post that shutout, you're going to be at a 10-point night for Lundqvist. But I have no interest really on the Rangers side of things.
I'm with you. It's San Jose or no one in this game. I'm not playing any of the New York side. I'll just say that right off the top. I'm not playing them at all. I'm not playing Lundqvist. San Jose, pick your poison. I do have interest in Martin Jones in the net. I like the top line of Kane, Pavelski, and LeBlanc. Second line's fine too with Hertl, Couture, and Meyer. Their defense is fine. Karlsson, Burns, fine. You need some salary relief, go down and grab Braun. I don't have problem any of them. Stack them up any which way you want to go. You'll probably be joining a lot of other people by doing so. So I'm looking at San Jose more for cash games, I think. Pretty solid way to go. Good opportunity. That is, if you think that San Jose after the last game was able to pull it all together, and it seemed like they really got their offense clicking, man. So if you're playing them, you're doing it, and you're banking on the fact that they do have their offense clicking now. Maybe it took that number of games to get themselves motivated enough. Maybe it just took getting shut out by the Islanders, I believe it was, to get them motivated enough to get moving, right? But that's it on this game for me. I'm with you. No Rangers, and even though this is a 6 over under, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. This goes way over, and this could end up being like a 7 or 8 to 1 game, something like that. I really like Jones here. So that's where I'd be. Anything else on this one, Jared? You want to move on?
Let's move on.
Fair enough. Moving on. The very next game we got the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They're going to be on a back-to-back heading into Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. I was really hoping for the revenge game here, but we're not going to get it. Don't have a line on this one. Looks like it's going to be, I believe it's Malcolm Subban and the Smith for the Pens. What do you got here?
Yeah, both a couple backup goalies in this game, so you might see some offensive production due to that stat alone. Subban, I think, even had an injury last year that took him out for a good part of last year. So keep that in mind as you're playing your lineups. Vegas has been off to a real slow start, and you're seeing that, I think, even tonight. I don't have the score in front of me right now. I know it was 2-1 late in the second. So as barring some high unorthodox third period, it looks like they're going to hover that 2-goal mark again this game. So I'm not playing this on a main slate play. Maybe this game could be in play on a with, I don't know if it'd be in a turbo stack or oh, probably not. Probably this game's going to be only available in the main slate. Looking at that, we have another goal. Pardon me, another goal. Ottawa scores 6-4. But I do like the Penguins to get back to their offensive self. I understand they played Montreal and their goaltender the other night and could not. They were looking way out of sorts. But those that follow the Penguins know they did make some lineups. You got Ricola coming into the third line D. They actually are planning to healthy scratch Oli Mata. So a little insider info there. And I heard from the local radio here that I live in Pittsburgh, if you haven't noticed, but local radio shows they had Ricola in that, taking some practice in that second power play unit. So that's something to be interested in. And he certainly had a great preseason, which is why he's up here collecting those minutes, when someone's not up to par. This is another risky game for me. If it is in that main stack only, I think you might have better knowledge to know if it's going to only be in the main stack or main slate. If it is, I wouldn't have any part of this. It's just not. There's other plays out there. If it is on a mini stack, then you could actually have a piece of both teams here, because I think DeSmith's going to give up goals, and I think that Malcolm Subban's going to give up goals. And on a back-to-back night, I kind of see the Penguins in a one-goal game on this one, but maybe a 4-3, 5-4 type game. I think there are going to be goals in this one.
I agree with you. This one could shoot out here, even with Vegas on the back-to-back. Subban's okay, I think, as far as a goalie goes. I remember last year he had a couple half-decent games. DeSmith is what he is. He's a backup goalie for a reason. And there's better backup goalies out there in the league. I would rather see Jari in the net than DeSmith, I think. But who am I? I don't get paid to call the shots there in Pittsburgh. I believe that if you want to play Vegas at all, I'd probably be their top line. I wouldn't mind pairing Pacioretty and Holla together off their second line. I like Theodore on the defensive end. I like England also. And I do kind of, excuse me one second. I do like Colin Miller a little bit too. And I think that's it from Vegas. I really don't have a whole lot of interest in this game. It could shoot out. It could be a 2-1 game. It's hard to say, right? I don't think it's really that predictable. I like the Pens on home ice, honestly. I like their top line, Gensel, Crosby, Hornquist. pricey, obviously. Second line's a little cheaper, but you'll still have some price in Evgeny Malkin and Kessel. I'd like Letang. I like Letang a lot. He looks like he's back to what he should be. Um, I'll have to trust your judgment on Ricola. I don't know nothing about him. Um, I mean, if you want to play in a real deep GPP, a very large GPP, you could sneak Matt Cullen in there as a possible one-off in a big GPP. I wouldn't be opposed to that either, especially if this game ends up shooting out and you think it's going to shoot out. Nobody's going to dip down that far, I don't think. But whatever. A little bit of interest here, not a whole lot. I think there's better plays on the slate, but that's all I got on that one. Anything else you want to move on?
I am ready to move on.
All right. Next game, we got the Columbus Blue Jackets heading into Florida, take on the Panthers. The Luongo less Florida Panthers. We got a 5.5 over under here, and I'm kind of shocked here, but we got a minus 125 on a Florida side here. We got good old Mr. Bob Bobrovsky for Columbus in the net, and we're gonna have Reimer in the net for Florida. What do you like here?
I do like it. I do have interest in this on both ends, actually. Maybe not the best game stack, but it could turn out to be the best game stack. I know they have it at a 5.5, but I don't necessarily agree with that. You look at Florida, small sample size. Like they would only play one game. They only got one goal. They put up 43 shots. And that included, I guess, the overtime period because that game did, I think, go in the shootout. But 43 shots, and you're going up against Bobrovsky, who I personally think he's, over the hump, So I look for him to always give up 2 to 3 goals. So you probably won't ever hear me say he's my Boulder Award, recipient. But I've been on that Florida bandwagon last year even. They've really produced for me over the years or over that last year. Both ends, not even just the offensive side, but also they have some great defensive pairings with Keith Yandel and Aaron Ekblad on that first defensive unit there. It doesn't look like they play them on that first power play unit. They play them on the second power play unit. But they do get 23, 22 minutes, but they're great price defensemen. That's the difference. You're going to get a first-line defenseman there, and you're getting them at 4,600 and 4,300. So, that's not your 5,500 Carlson and Letang price. I think Letang's even 5,700. So, but you look here, I don't see Bob keeping them to one goal. They were playing Vasilevsky, I think that was in game one. And, that's just the interstate rival. I think that probably played a part in that one. They've had a lot of time off here. So give me Dadonov, give me Barkov, give me that first power play unit here. Let me go up and make sure I'm giving you the best power play. Yeah, Barkov's in the back on the point on that power play. Dadonov's on the right wing. Vincent Trocheck's at center. You're getting quality chance guys here. I can't reiterate that enough. At a bargain cost. I don't know where the respect is lost for this team, but look at this. First power play unit, great offensive power from every point, and your highest price guy is a 6,200 in Barkov. The cost is there, and I like them a lot. When you look at even the Columbus side, you can play Panarin. He's having a great year, but he's a 6,500. Dubois played great. Atkinson is starting to really. Atkinson is a shooter. He gets you those shots on goal, and so you're guaranteed, that 2 points just in shots. And even Boone Jenner, from a third line perspective, is getting 16 minutes of ice time because he's a third liner, but he's also on their second power play line, so he gets you a little bit of minutes on that power play if you want a low price guy with the potential to get you that point being on the power play. Like I said, they only have one game for Florida, so it's hard for me to tell. Oh, excuse me. It's hard for me to tell how many penalties they're really going to take. But let's be honest. First game, Florida's taken 3 penalties, so I think you have to look at that Columbus power play line. And like I said, in a quarter GPP, this is a potential game stack. I'm looking at my GPP on DraftKings right now, and I played heavy on Washington, but I did put one line in that Ottawa Philly game that put up 7-4, 11 goals. Probably the guy that's going to win that GPP played this game stack right and hit the money. Tomorrow, this game here, I think it could turn out to be one of the same.
I don't disagree. I think you can game stack this one straight up. But I also believe that you could take Reimer as a GPP goalie. Nobody's going to play him. So, I mean, if you think he has a shot at holding him to 2 goals, he's going to see the shots for certain coming from Columbus, I would have to assume. And I am with you there with Florida. I think you could easily see 5 power play chances for the Columbus Blue Jackets here. I like the Boone Jenner call also that you made. That's nice. I like Wenberg. I like the top line. Obviously, the first power play line, I'm on par with you there. I do like the Werenski on defense. You could play Ryan Murray too, but I do like Werenski a lot. And this team, let's not forget, they're missing Seth Jones yet. So when he comes back, Columbus is a good squad here, man. They got a good product that they're putting out on the ice right now, and I think they're making a run at it too. At least potentially trying to. So I do like Columbus here for offense. And as far as Florida goes, I can't disagree with you there either. I like Florida all the way around too. Like I said, Reimer is a potential GPP goalie. I'm not saying that he's definitely going to hit or anything like that. I just think that nobody's going to take a shot on him. I like Dadonov. I like Barkov. Easily the top line. Trocheck, Mike Hoffman. I mean, yeah, these guys are all in play. And like you said, at low cost, you could easily stack this one all the way up, all the way around. I do like Ekblad. Probably the only defenseman I would play there. Maybe I'm a little light on the defensive side than you are, but this is going to go over. We could see double-digit goals here, man. As a total, we could see 10, 11 goals in this game. I think. I'm not 100% certain I'm going to run a game stack of this, but I'm definitely going to look at it as a potential game stack situation. That's all I got on this one. You got anything else?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one, which is another exciting one. Can't wait to hear this one.
Next game, we got Toronto Maple Leafs heading into Detroit to take on the Red Wings. Toronto is a minus 175 visiting favorite. We got a 6 over-under. We got Frederik Andersen going up against Jimmy Howard. What do you like here?
I like both sides of this. This is a game stack all the way, and it's probably actually going to be your highest owned game stack, in my opinion. People aren't. You'd be a fool not to be on the Austin Matthews, on the John Tavares, on the Mitch Marner. all those guys, they're producing at the pace that we all actually expected them to. Look at this. John Tavares, I think, put 7 goals on this year. You got Austin Matthews with 7. I mean, the points are there. The shots are there. Everything's coming together. They're point getters. They're out there. The beauty of game stacking this is the price savings you're actually going to also encounter from this Detroit team. Let's just be honest. Frederik Andersen is probably just Toronto made too many moves. Now they're stuck with him play. He's not a good goaltender, in my opinion, and it really shows because Toronto has to put up 5 to 6 goals a night to win. And you should never have Frederik Andersen in your line, even for the win. Because even if you get the win from him, which you will a lot of times, you're putting him back to 0. So he's never a good play, in my opinion. And I don't know if this is just a matter of that's how good Frederik Andersen is or if he's just playing bad. But he's been terrible. And I think this Detroit team can score, actually, as well. A lot of, they're a young team, but, they're getting 2 goals a game, I guess, on average. But the shot count for Detroit on 26.3, but they're going up against Toronto, giving 31 shots a game. I can't remember who Detroit's played, but they've probably not played someone as bad defensively as you can get, really, if you look at Toronto's team. They're a very bad defensive team. Great when you look at Morgan Riley, Morgan Riley from an offensive perspective. He really gets you production offensively. And let's see, let me get you this info real quick on Morgan Riley's fantasy cost because I really enjoy playing him. Right. Morgan Riley, they bumped him up. He's a 6,200 DraftKings cost. We're moving away from him, folks. Just too much cost for this lineup tomorrow. If I'm doing anything, I'm probably paying down, and I'm taking Jake Gardiner. I'm going to go with Jake Gardiner, and he gets second power play minutes with that line with Patrick Marleau, Tyler Ennis, Connor Brown. But I'm going to definitely choose one or the other. It's really an overnight guess of whether I play the Austin Matthews or play the John Tavares. They're both in play. If you game stack this, I think you're going to have to pay down. But the good thing is Justin Abdelkader, first line, he only gets 15 minutes a game, so he's not probably getting on the power play that much. But he's 3,200 in the first line. You look Anthony Mantha, 4,600, first line. Gustav Nyquist, I really like the way this guy plays. He's 4,600. He's second line. He's the guy getting your power play minutes. I think you game stack this one for sure. And I think you have to play those powerhouses that are Austin Matthews, John Tavares.
I am sort of with you. I don't like the game stack idea of this. I'll just get it over with real quick and easy. I don't want Detroit. Even if they score a couple goals, it's not going to be enough, not on a slate this size. I'll just steer away from them. I think there's much better plays on the slate. And give me all the Toronto all day. I like the top 6 all the way around. If I would sort of lean away from anyone, it might be Hyman a little bit, but I like Kapanen a lot. Mitch Marner is really starting to come around into his own. Matthews and Tavares, they speak for themselves. Nobody has to speak for them. And I like Jake Gardiner. I play him a lot, actually. I like it there. And would you say Morgan Riley? I think you said he was 6,200. That's crazy. I'm not playing Morgan Riley over 6K. No way. I take somebody else first. No, I can't play Riley at 6K. Man, no way. But if you are going to try to game stack this up, or you're even just going to stack this up, and you want to try to get away from them top guys, take a look at Kadri. Kadri's a good play here. Um, Detroit's. I don't. Whatever. I don't like Detroit. I don't think they're that good. Um, I definitely don't think they're that good in the center of the ice. So, Kadri's definitely in play for me. And I also believe that Anderson is in play. He is another one that I believe gets disrespected around the industry. Um, he's always put second behind, goalies like Hellebuck, even Mr. Bob in Columbus. Um, and I think he's good, man. Like I said, he takes a lot of shots, and people don't realize how many shots he faces every single year. It's last year it was the most by like 200 shots or something like that, more than the next guy close to him. So you think about that. Even if Detroit gets 30 or 35 shots tomorrow in this game, do you honestly think he's going to give up 5 goals? Because I don't, man. I think he'll give up maybe one, maybe two. Other than that, Anderson, give me some Frederick Anderson, no doubt. And like I said, Detroit, none. I want absolutely nothing here. If you want a huge GPP punt, go ahead and play Jimmy Howard in the net, and good luck to you. But honestly, if B hits, man, it's gonna be you're gonna rocket ship to the top. There's no doubt about it. In any GPP, if you play Jimmy Howard and he hits, and you get 8 points out of Jimmy Howard, yeah, you're definitely going to be in the top of a big GPP, no doubt. Anything else on this one, buddy?
Let's move on to the next one.
Next one we got Los Angeles Kings heading into Montreal to take on the Canadiens. We got a 5.5 over under in this one. Montreal is a -125 home favorite, no doubt. That's because of their last outing against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. We got Jack Campbell taking on Carey Price. What are you liking this one?
Little news update before I start. Vegas has a good goal overturned offsides. So the score remains 4-2. This game here is quite intriguing. I don't think there's enough plays here. I really think you could get a goalie here, though. Did you say Campbell was starting, or?
He's projected, yeah.
Yeah, I've really liked him. He gets you so far in DraftKings. He's getting you 6.8 points a game. So I really like the Campbell play here for the Kings, and maybe a defender from the Kings. Drew Doughty's a little bit too much. See here, maybe he's even too much, probably. Maybe you pay down, you take a chance on Phaneuf at 3,600. Hasn't had a great year to start, but it's Phaneuf. He's been in the league long enough that he could potentially, be involved in some offensive plays. Along the Canadian side, Max Domi really is starting to shine if you wanted to play them offensively, but I'm not really going to beat around the bush because I don't think you're going to have high ownership around here, so I don't want to take too much time on this, and we're going to, in the sake of time, I'm not going to say much on this game. Potentially, you could run Carey Price defense on either side. If you want Carey Price, take a shot at him. If you want actually, I wouldn't even take a chance on Carey Price with only LA getting 21 shots a game. If there's anything, taking a chance on Jack Campbell in this game. That's it.
This game is going to be real quick and easy for me. I don't want nothing from this game as far as skaters go at all. I look for this game to go well below the 5.5 over under. I'm looking at more of a 2-1, 3-2 type game at the very most, and I have interest in both goalies. I think Campbell's in play, and I think Price is in play. As far as the win goes, I'm not so certain. on the win. This game could go either way. But either one of them goalies, I believe, are in play. And they would definitely be some salary relief off of Jones if you were looking to play Jones from San Jose. That's it, man. That's all I want here. I'll probably take a shot on one of them two goalies. I'm not quite certain which one yet. I would probably be with you and lean towards the Campbell play, just because you would think at some point here the Kings would get it going, and start scoring some goals. So I think he's got the best shot of the win here, and I just don't trust Montreal at all. They're pretty much in a rebuild too. They're working their way around it anyway. Maybe kind of a rebuild on the fly kind of thing here, but that's it. That's all I got from that one, man. You want to move on?
Yes, sir. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, we got Vancouver going in to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. We got a 6.5 over under here. We got Tampa Bay as a minus 270 home favorite. We got Markstrom taking on Vasilevsky. What do you got here?
Well, the first thing I got's a surprise at the line 6.5. I would take the under on that one. Believe me, I'm thinking maybe a 4-2 kind of game with Tampa Bay being on the side of this. I usually like Markstrom, but I think that when you look at the overall build of Vancouver, they're just too young of a team to really compete with the offensive power here. I think you do look potentially at Tampa Bay here. I don't know if they're necessarily your GPP best play here, but certainly a cash game, you can take an opportunity to get a little piece of this pie. Stamkos he's down to 6,400 on DraftKings, so he's definitely kind of faded off his high price that we've seen in the past as he's aged, but he's still in play. Kucherov still is a great play. The minutes are there. They're getting power play chances. One thing I want to get for you guys, so you have it for you, is what are we looking at when it comes to power play chances? Tampa Bay. Vancouver's been shorthanded 15 times in 3 games. That's 5 penalties a game, folks. That's how you lose games. And in this league, when you got the talent that's on the ice, that record of 1-2 for Vancouver probably in play. That's why you cannot take 5 penalties a game and hope that your goalie stands on his head that much. Markstrom, he's going to take a lot of shots. He's going to get beat by probably 3 to 4 times. I like the idea of Tampa Bay being here. You're going to pay a premium because I think the points come from the premium. The only kind of relief you get, first power play line has Braden Point. If you want to play him, he's only a 4,900. JT Miller's 4,000. Don't fall victim to the Victor Hedman at 5,900. He's too high of a cost. You're going to get better defense elsewhere. And I like Andre Palat as well, and he gets you that 4,500 price savings there. But Tampa Bay all the way in this one. Probably not a good GPP play for me, in my opinion here, but I like them as a good cash option play.
Pretty much in agreement with you. Quick and simple. Here's my take on Vancouver. Don't play them. There's spots to play them, but this ain't the spot. And I think if you're going to play Tampa Bay, Vasilevsky is certainly in play. I don't have a problem with him at all. And if I'm going to play Tampa Bay at all, I'm going to try to focus most of my attention on the power play lines. I know in the very first game, Vancouver played Calgary. Calgary had 7 shots on the power play. Yeah, they did go over 7, but I think that's more on Calgary than it is, you know, um, Vancouver being good or even decent on the penalty kill. Um, if Tampa Bay gets 5 or 6 opportunities on the power play here, they score on 4 of them. So that's where I'd be focusing. I would definitely try to get the top power play unit. But I do like Point and JT Miller both too, and I like Stamkos and Kucherov. So I'm there with you as far as that goes. In the second power play, stack it up a little different, and I would let the defenseman off of it. I do like Palat and Killorn, so I'm okay with that. And you probably get low ownership on Joseph. So if you're looking for, a getaway play from this game, you could take a look at Joseph. And I like Tampa Bay to win this one. Probably 4-1, maybe 5-1, something like that. But that's all I see out of this one. I do have heavy interest in Vasilevsky. Sorry. Anything else on this one?
Nah, we're getting near the end. Let's keep on grinding.
Alrighty. Next game, we don't have a line on this one. I'm not quite certain why we don't have a line on this. I think it could be a goalie issue here, but we got Calgary Flames heading into St. Louis to take on the Blues. Looks like we're going to have Rittich. I'm not certain how he pronounces his last name there. The backup for Calgary is going in to take on my arch nemesis, Jake Allen. What do you like in this one?
Well, I'm going to first admit my fault that Calgary has burnt me so far this year, and the fact that I haven't taken them. You've been on that wagon, riding that train. I haven't. Oshie just hits the empty netter to put Washington up 5-2, folks. Sorry for that, but I figure that's a stat you want to know. But going on, Calgary, massive Flames. The Flames have been all you've been seeing, even in DFS lineups with this team. So the name makes perfect sense. You're putting them in your lineup as much as possible. I don't care that it's Jake Allen. And you look in 2 games, Calgary has given up five goals a game. I mean, I don't know if that's both games, but on average right now, 5 goals a game. With the offense clicking like they have been, Kachuk, you look, Johnny Gaudreau, Shane Monahan's having a great year to start off. Elias Lindholm, it's like he's been on that team forever at a $5,600 price tag. He's in play. You got power plays in play. You got defense in play for Calgary. You got a little bit of everything. The only thing is, do not fall victim and not take anyone from St. Louis, because I think just as much as Calgary's going to be scoring, St. Louis is going to be scoring as well. The one thing we can say over and over again that Calgary's had is the goaltender's not there. They'd rather have that wooden goalie board that you put over it and hope that does a better job, because Mike Smith's not stopping the puck. And if James Rittich is not even the starter, that tells you how well he stops the puck. You look, you got Marin there. You got Parayko on the defensive side, Tarasenko, Pietrangelo. It's there. So enjoy a game stack here.
Well, I am 100% with you on the game stack, and you're not wrong. I've been riding Calgary. I think they have a pretty explosive offense as far as that goes. Gaudreau, Monahan, Lindholm, Zarnik, Backlund, Kachuk, any of them guys. James Neal, if you want to play one of the power play lines, I believe he's on the top power play line. You can play him. I do like Giordano. I like Brody. I like Michael Stone. Hannafin is coming into form. Good trade to get him. He came over, if I'm not mistaken, in the Dougie Hamilton trade. So Hannafin is working out for these guys. And I don't want Rittich or the other goalie, Jake Allen, in this one for certain. I'm all over the offense on this one. I actually look for this to come out to be a 6 over-under, somewhere around there. And I think that St. Louis will probably be a slight home favorite here. But I don't want no part of the goalies at all. So just how I'm looking at it. As far as St. Louis goes, I like the top line, no problem. I like Braden Shin, Jaden Schwartz, Jordan Carew. Take a look at him. You could go down and pay, take him off that third line. I don't have a problem with that either. And as far as the defensive side goes, Pietrangelo, Pareko, Bortuzzo, any of them guys, I like them guys a lot too. So, yeah, I'm with you here. Game stack this one up, in my opinion. Anything else on this one?
Yes, sir. Let's move on to the next one.
Fair enough. Next game, we got the Winnipeg Jets heading into Nashville to take on the Nashville Predators. This Winnipeg knocked Nashville out of the playoffs last year, I believe it is. So this should really be kind of interesting. We got a 6 over-under. Nashville is a minus 135 home favorite. We'll have Hellebuck taking on Rene. And I hope for Rene's sake he actually shows up here and actually plays a much better game than what he played the last time out here. He's on a contract year here, and let's not get it twisted. UC Saros coming behind him is really good. What do you like in this one?
I fear this game. To be honest with you, let's just make sure that I know where we're at on game time here, because this could be a turbo. It looks like 8 o'clock, so you're probably going to see this game in a turbo slate as well. I wouldn't play this game in the main slate. It actually scares me. I've fell victim both ways on the Nashville's going to score goals. How many times can they be shut out or get one goal? They're just been bad. Offensively, I don't know where the issue lies there. Winnipeg, some offensive power, but they burnt me over the last game as well. There's plenty of other great plays here. I'm staying away from this game altogether. I don't even have any good options for you to play. Either way, whatever way you want to play, there are picks on either side, just not in a slate like this.
I'm with you here. You could take a look at this game in a smaller slate, but Nashville has not been impressive. But I think that they're going to play tough tomorrow against Winnipeg. This could be real low scoring. This could go way under here, maybe. If both guys in the net with Hellebuck and Rene are up to form and up to par and playing like they should be playing and playing like they are getting paid to play. As far as that being said, I don't have any interest in Rene. It's just, for me, he's a little too risky. I kind of got a little bit of interest in Hellebuck here, man. I don't know if he's going to be highly owned in a GPP or not, but I think you could take a look at him for a GPP because I think he's going to see some shots. You might get 27, 28 shots here, maybe give up a goal, but I like Winnipeg for the win here. I don't know if that's going out on a limb or saying don't necessarily believe it's a hot take either. But I kind of am on the Winnipeg side of this. But on the main slate, as far as what we're looking at here for a breakdown, I'm not going to break down the whole game here because I'm not going to play anybody in this on the main slate. So anything else, or you want to move on?
Let's move on to this final one on the slate.
All right. Last game, Chicago Blackhawks heading into Minnesota to take on the Wild. We got a 6 over-under on this one. Minnesota's a minus 170 home favorite. We got Cam Ward going up against Dubnyk. You owe me so much money, buddy. Yeah, what do you like here?
I'll tell you what I don't like first off is 53 points today on my DraftKings lineup, and it's still only good for like 200th in a GPP. The scoring's been crazy today.
Oh, absolutely.
But I potentially like this here as a game stack on a late slate, mini slate here. I think you're going to get goals, and I think it's hard to ignore what Chicago's done from that first line. They're really back to their Stanley Cup form with Taves and Patrick Kane, on the year here. Just to break down what I think are the correct stats here. Taves, 5 goals and assists already in looking at 3 games here. So great production coming from him. That Dominic Cahoon I was watching the other night with him, he's going to show signs of potential. Hasn't happened. He might have had a point. He did get a point in last game. So he's going to come at low owner. A lot of people I think are going to not know that he's actually first line material. Let me see if they've adjusted his price tag at all, if he's even in the lineup here. Dominic Cahoon, 3,300 right wing cost. He's getting 2.17 average points per game across 3. And what a bargain for first line. Might not be on that power play because I doubt he is yet because of his youth. Second line power play. So you're going to get those minutes there. It's hard to ignore that cheap price tag you get with a first liner that is alongside talent like that. Stanley Cup champs. I mean, you can't ignore that. When it comes to the Minnesota line, I still like their defense. I don't ever want to really they're always going to be a look for me. Like I said, it's going to be a mini slate that I'll probably put them in. It's an 8 o'clock game, so it will be on your turbo slate line here. But I like their D. I always really have. You got Suter. You got Jared Spurgeon. So, and they're in the mid 4,000 range. So they're not those, high cost defensemen that are running power play lines, but they are minute suckers. They suck the minutes right out of the ice for sure. There are good plays here. Don't play it really on the main slate line in this game here. It's a 6. I think this game goes over, believe it or not. I think this is probably a 5-4 game. 9 goals in this game. A lot of points everywhere. For, like I said, Chicago, it's those main guys that you're getting. And maybe you play Duncan Keith as a defenseman, but you want Taves, you want DeBrincat, and you want Patrick Kane. Yeah, Kane, Toews, and DeBrincat there in your line if you're going to run this one, which I think you should. When you look at Minnesota's side, Mika Koivu, a great second line at a 4,900 price tag. I like him. I like what Mikael Granlund plays on that second line as well, because that second line gets him first power play honors. So you got to take your chance at that. And 19 minutes a game for Granlund. So he's a great play as well. Minnesota is another one of those great teams where they can come out, score 5 goals, and you don't see the price tag of Oshie and Kuznetsov and Backstrom and those guys. You see a low 5,000 for a lot of them. And so you're going to be able to not break the bank and get quality picks from other games to really stack your line and put points up there for you. Defense and goalie-wise, you don't want a goalie from this game.
I agree with you. I like this game as far as the games that goes in that late slate. I figure you could probably look at a way to stack this up in like that turbo slate. Stack this game up and then run Hellebuck as your goalie. Should be able to fit it in some way. I'm with you here. It's the top guys. DeBrincat, Taves, Cahoon, Kane. I don't mind Duncan Keith, and I don't mind Brent Seabrook as far as that goes from Chicago. And Dubnyk, you owe me so much money, man. I'm not playing Dubnyk. No way, no how. Minnesota's interesting here. I don't mind top line, but man, I can't say that. But I like Jordan. Or yeah, I guess it's not Jordan Stahl.
Eric
It
Stahl.
was Eric Stahl. Um, I'd play Stahl, Parisi, Koivu, Granlund. I like them guys. I don't mind Charlie Coyle. He should be kind of cheap. Um, I like, well, you know me, Jared. I like Sutter, however he pronounces his name. He is a TOI monster, no doubt. And I like Bergeron, and I wouldn't even be afraid of taking a shot at Nick Sailor either. It's a pretty good game stack, and I tell you what, I know, man. Not necessarily on the main slate, but let me tell you something, man. If you stack this game up on the main slate in a GPP, like it's something low dollar, just to take a whack at it, nobody's going to own this game. Nobody is going to own this game. You could get this game stack at such a low ownership, man. And if it does go off for, say, 10, 11 goals, you're going to be on the right side of that, and you will definitely rocket ship to the top. So I wouldn't mind that. You know what I mean? But as far as the late slate or the turbo slate, if that's how this works out, I would look at the Hellebuck in the net and then look to stack this game up some way, somehow. And I think that would be okay to run definitely in a cash game on the turbo slate. But that's pretty much it for this game. And that's it for the slate. There's a lot of plays. There's enough goalie plays that you're not going to have to worry about ownership too much. I think people are going to go certain ways. Might have a lot of homer effect going on in this slate too. But there's a lot of plays, man. So what do you got, Jared? Is that it?
That's it for the slate breakdown. I think we're ready for the game.
Yeah, let's try to jump through this game real quick here. Try to get through it. Video went a little long here, but it is a 12-game slate. So what can we do with it? Your diamond stack. What do you got?
Diamond stack. I'm looking here, and we're going to back to that Tampa Bay Lightning game versus the Canucks, and I like this second power play unit with Matthew Joseph, Yanni Gord, Alex Killorn, with Ryan McDonough and Andre Palat at the back. So really, I want Yanni Gord, Alex Killorn, Ryan McDonough at that power play line.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Don't have a problem with that one at all. My diamond stack, I'm going to go, I'll stay on the East Coast here with you, but I'm going to go up north to the Buffalo Sabres. I like the Buffalo Sabres, man. I like line 2. Give me Jeff Skinner, Patrick Berglund, Kyle Okposo. What do you got for your snowflake?
Well, it was the game that we are kind of torn and are staying away from. And I got to go with that Winnipeg Jets first line. The Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler line against Pekka Rinne. I think that this is really going to be a Nashville statement game after their last performance, especially on home ice.
I like that call, actually. I really do. It's going out on a limb. I mean, not many people would take that call as far as a bust or snowflake stack goes. Man, I don't know what to take here, but I'm going to take line 1 from Vegas. Going into Pittsburgh on a back-to-back, I'll take them. Boulder Award. What do you like here?
I think you even said it, in your score prediction that even a 1 goal is possible. But I got to go with them. I think it's going to be Vasilevsky actually shutting out that Vancouver team.
And I'll tell you right now, that was my first pick. But luckily, I had another one in mind. And I'm a fan of this goalie so much, and I can't stress it enough. And I just think he gets so disrespected, and he needs to be up there in the top conversation of the top 1 to 2 to 3 goalies in the league, and that is Frederick Anderson in Toronto. This guy is for real, man. He blocks. He's so good, man. He's my guy. Frederick Anderson. I'm going to ride him all the way to the promised land this year, and so are the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That puck's going to go into the back of the net like a boulder tomorrow with Detroit slapping it by him.
I hear you. I know you're on that Detroit stack, but it don't matter. I'm telling you, man, Frederick Anderson is for real, and your Detroit stack is not for real.
I tell you what, in today's game there alone, Anaheim already has 13 shots in the second period just started. They're on pace to break their record for the year.
How about it? Oh, I see the Coyotes with 17 shots. That's pretty impressive. Coyotes did get their first goal here. Congratulations. Rick Tocchet said it today in an interview I retweeted out. I seen on Twitter there. I think I put that out on the DFS Quarry channel. He said that the goals were going to come. They just had to continue to play. The goals would come. And, to get that first period goal, probably lifted a lot of weight off their back. So congratulations for that. And I hope their season continues to improve. Overall, guys, the slate, it looks good. There's plays here. If you're going to play in a GPP, you need points, man. Get up there. You need to be striving to hit 58 points tomorrow on this slate with such a massive slate on the main slate. So you're going to have to do a little research, dig into these guys a little more, and just because we're saying it doesn't necessarily mean they're guaranteed great picks. Look at them. Some of the people that we might have mentioned, some of the goalies we mentioned, take a look at them for yourselves. Make sure that they fit the type of lineup that you're trying to build for yourself and fit the type of strategy that you use and the type of DFS player that you are. Because we all play different lineups and we all play different ways and we all look at different positions in a slightly different way, man. There's so many different ways to go at this. Even Jared and I both, we actually do not play the same exact way. And if you would jump into a contest with us, you would see that we build different lineups. We don't line up share with each other. We go actually against the grain. A lot of times we're not even on the same picks. Even in the videos, we don't always agree. We agree a lot, but that's just because they're obvious. That's why we agree a lot. A lot of the tighter games we don't necessarily agree on, like this final game on tonight that we're watching here, the Arizona and the Anaheim game. Jared was on the Arizona side and I was on the Anaheim side. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but I took Jared's advice and I did play Ranta in a lineup, but I also played Gibson in a lineup just to cover my own, whatever. With that being said, Jared, anything else?
No, I think we beat their ear a good bit. Like you said, it was a big slate, so a lot of things to be said. We could have took the easy way out and not talked about some of these games, but we want to give everyone, the full, honest opinion, even to the games that we're not sure of, just to throw them out there that we're going to talk about each and every one, because that's what the fans want.
Right, and with that being said, last very thing, and then we're out of here. I promise you. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you like hearing what we have to say, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. And last but not least, we're looking at Friday. We believe there's no slate, no games on Friday. I didn't look, probably opening up for the playoffs in baseball, I would have to say or assume. But either way, if you guys want to comment or hit us up on Twitter, something like that, you have an idea of a video you want us to build for tomorrow, since we don't have a slate to break down, give us give us some suggestions. We'll try to do what we can to try to throw a quick video together. Just remember, the more in depth the topic, the more in depth the video, probably a longer video. So if you guys are looking for a little shorter video, we can do a broad stroke on just about anything. So again, with that being said, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. thanks for subscribing to all the guys who subscribed so far. We sure do appreciate it. And thanks for all the views, guys. It's going well so far, and we'd like to continue this. So keep up the good work, man. Good plays, and don't get bit by no sharks.